In this video, we are going to talk about the friend zone. What does the phrase "let's just be friends" really mean? Is friendship between a man and a woman even possible? And how can you turn their friendship into something more? I'll share two effective strategies, but first, let's discuss why people end up in the friend zone in the first place. There aren't too many reasons for this. Either the woman was never interested in you from the start, or she lost interest after a long relationship ended. If you find yourself in the friend zone at the very beginning, the situation is pretty straightforward. Let's say you've gone on a few dates, but she didn't feel anything for you. This could mean she was never looking for a relationship to begin with. Maybe she was just bored, or that you didn't make your intentions clear. If you focus too much on being fun, convenient, and comfortable, it's no surprise that she never developed any attraction. That said, if she agreed to multiple dates, there was likely some initial interest. There is a lot that could be said here, but to put it simply, the issue lies in a man's mindset. Now, if this happens after a long relationship, I have news for you. She's not actually trying to be friends with you. Understand that when a woman says, "let's stay friends," she's not saying it to spare your feelings or make the breakup less painful for you. She's thinking about herself, not your emotional comfort. Cutting ties completely isn't easy, and she's trying to avoid the abrupt loss of connection. But if we're talking about so-called friendship between a man and a woman, it's usually a situation where the woman is still benefiting in some way. Rational thinking tells her, why would I cut him off? He's a good guy who's always there to listen and help. I remember a consultation with a man who stayed in the friend zone for over a year, continuously investing time and effort into a woman. He told me she considered him a very close person she could always rely on. Well, I'm sure those words were worth all the energy, emotions, and resources he spent, especially considering that not long after she got into a relationship and, of course, forgot about her best friend. And that's why, my friends, this vicious cycle needs to be broken. Based on my experience, there are two effective ways to do it. However, this only works if you've known the woman for a significant amount of time. In all other cases, I recommend cutting ties and moving on, because the resources you'll spend simply aren't worth it. Method 1. The not so gentlemanly approach. Start dating someone else, but don't fake it. It has to be real. Your friend is still important to you, but just a friend. After all, that's what you wanted, right? I hope you caught my sarcasm. You stayed positive when talking to her, but now you're simply too busy to always be available. When you were supposed to meet up with her, suddenly you are spending time with your new girlfriend instead. Trust me, every woman is possessive to some degree, even in the friend zone. The key here is balance. She must never suspect you are doing this intentionally. But in most cases, this strategy will change the dynamic, and soon enough, she'll start asking questions about your new relationship, wondering what could have been. Congratulations. The rules of the game have just changed. And before you say, oh, I don't know, I don't think this would work in my case, you haven't even tried it yet. Method 2, the bold approach. This one is for men who have the guts to take action. If you ended up in the friend zone by accident, here is how to flip the script. First, you need to intentionally raise your perceived value in her eyes. How? By being extremely supportive for a short period. For a week, you go all in. Always listening, always helping, always there for her. You become the perfect friend. Then, once she's grown accustomed to this dynamic, it's time to act. Buy her flowers or a meaningful gift and visit her with a direct proposal for a relationship. You need a clear answer, and in most cases, it will be no. But here is the twist. That's exactly what you want. The harsher the rejection, the more leverage you'll have. You don't want to hear back excuses like, I don't know, you understand we are just friends, right? Or, you're such a close person, but I wouldn't want to ruin our friendship. That's not what we are looking for. We want a firm no. And when that happens, you disappear. No explanations, no goodbyes, just pure silence. That's be the hardest part, but it's crucial. I'll cover it in detail in another video. But the short version is ignore her until she makes a serious effort to reconnect. At first, she'll try to figure out what's happening. Then she'll get angry. Then she'll go silent. But after 2 or 3 months, she'll start making real efforts to re-establish contact. And that's when you regain control and decide what happens next. By the way, let's talk about a certain type of woman. The one who surrounds herself with men and calls it friendship. If you know someone like that, you already understand that in most cases it's anything but friendship. She's boosting her sense of self-worth, speeding on emotional support, and keeping this man around because it's convenient. But does true friendship between a man and a woman even exist? Some say yes, others say no. And to be clear, we're not talking about colleagues or neighbors. We are talking about real friendship, deep interaction. I've seen the play out of hundreds of times. Women who claim, I have so many guy friends. Oh, I have a best friend who's always there for me. But when you take a closer look, the reality is often different. One of them used to date her. Another one is useful for her. A third is trying to win her over, and so on. That's why I'm skeptical about this idea. A final tip for men who feel hopeless. If you struggle to follow a set plan, do the opposite of what you normally do. Feel the urge to kiss her but always hold back? Kiss her. She asks for a favor but it's inconvenient for you? Don't do it. Tired of listening to her endless drama about another guy? Stop listening. Trust me, this alone will be way more effective than clinging to this so-called friendship. And I really hope you are not still thinking that one day she'll suddenly realize your worth and change her mind, or that you have some kind of unspoken agreement, then you'll eventually be together. Come on, guys. That's nonsense. Don't be afraid to cut off this illusion of friendship and start taking action today. See you next.